Well. Hello, everybody. Hello, Alberto. Hello, Maria and Kyo. It's a pleasure to have you here. Well, today's space is going to be hosted by me, Gabo. Uh, yeah, Alberto, if you don't know, I think you've met my brother Nacho. He's also one of the founders of Bearded
Oh
Body.
yeah, your evil twin, right? He's your evil twin or something like that, right?
Yeah, that's
That's
right.
good.
He's
Yeah,
my
yes.
twin. He's my partner since the start, since we started this. And yeah, right now he's going on meetings. So yeah, I thought that I would take care of this space. I think it's an interesting topic today. And actually, I've heard a little bit about you, Alberto. I think you've had probably one of the one of the best stories to share. Actually, I know that maybe you're writing a book, and yeah, so to be honest, I would love to hear your story. I've heard a little bit by Nacho, but yeah, from your point of view, it must be
Yeah,
excellent.
maybe I'm writing a book, an NFT book. That is actually I have this dilemma right now. Okay, NFT Yeah, why not do it in an NFT format where okay, forget about Amazon and all the traditional publishers. I will do it on my own. Yeah, why give all the profit to those companies? Yeah, but I don't know. Right now, after some research, okay, everything is amazing, but so far the part of marketing, I have some doubts. But yeah, that's I don't know. Today you're going to talk. You're going to talk about your story. Share your story. Oh my god! Now I understand why you asked me that. Okay. You framed me. Why am I here? Okay, no problem. I don't know if you would like to let other people speak, and yeah, I have no problem sharing my story with you. It's a hell of a story.
For sure. Yeah, it must be a hell of a story. Well, if people don't know here on the space, well, Alberto has actually been, if I'm not wrong, on jail because something happened about a hacking that you were involved in, that they accused you, and if I'm not wrong, it's something that was like a plot against you. Welcome, Mr. F, to the space.
Well,
Welcome.
yeah, actually, it was something very. If you okay, seeing everything from outside, it looks so. No, this couldn't happen to this guy. This guy has really bad luck, and then seeing that from inside, this couldn't be happening to me. And yeah, what you mentioned about hacking, it's something that was struggling in my mind for a long time because actually what I did for me was an insult to call it hacking. And initially, I will tell you guys how the story began. It all began in October of 2014. October, I was in who was my girlfriend's apartment. It was a Saturday, a beautiful Saturday of spring here in South America, and she asked me to enter into her health provider website in order to set an appointment with a doctor. And she gave me the address of the provider. So I went there, and she was about to tell me, okay, you need my password now to enter. And I was like, no, it's okay. I'm already in. And she told me, what? Yeah, I'm already in. And I wasn't really happy. I was really pissed off because I could enter into the system with administrator privilege using the username admin and the password admin. Yeah, that really pisses me off a lot because I could enter into the system, see everything. If I wanted to alter anything of that system, I could have done it. It was a system of a medical provider that held more than 200,000 medical records. It's a big deal, man. I mean, we're talking about more than Uruguay has 3 million people. We're talking almost about, I don't know, 8% of the medical records of Uruguay were held in that system. Man, you could not have let admin as your administrator credentials. Oh man, that was something that really pisses me off, and I immediately reported that to the CERT of my country. That I am used to reporting security issues, flaws, liabilities, vulnerabilities in systems because of having worked in cybersecurity for more than 20 years in the government, where I have this culture of reporting, because reporting is probably the most useful input any information security management system may have. Is a way of measuring how the security of what you are managing is, what's going on. Otherwise, you have no idea what's going on. So yeah, having people reporting the things that they found that might be related, might be security events or security incidents related, depending upon whether they are actually showing something that is actually a problem going on or something that might be exploited and become a problem. So yeah, everybody in a company should be, I don't know, everybody should be getting the incentive to report anything that might be suspicious when it comes to security. And in the world, actually, with the bug bounty programs, they're paying people money for reporting that. Why? Because they prefer people to report and pay the people reporting instead of getting those things exploded by criminals and then having to pay much, much more money and actually having the damages in the reputation image of the companies that sometimes you cannot solve with money. Sometimes you are out of business because of people not trusting your company anymore after those events. So yeah, please report. That's thank you for report. Should anybody report anything, thank that person because that person is doing you a favor. Well, I reported that to the CERT of my country. It was a Saturday. Within an hour, the director of the CERT of my country replied that email. The email was sent to cert@cert.ui. That is a general mail address that is for the purposes of reporting security incidents. I automatically got a ticket number to track that report and to have an evidence of having reporting that. He replied saying, "Okay, I have confirmed that your information that you send is valid. You are right regarding the problem." In the report, I have said, "Okay, I connected to this website." And I could log in with these credentials. My IP address is this one. So from this IP address, I connected in case they did want to make any kind of research. Okay, I had nothing to hide. I mean, I was always completely giving everything that I could in order to help those people that were going to handle that problem. And okay, then I forgot about that, and it was really a relief because it was a big headache, and I didn't want to have that in my hands. After reporting that, it wasn't my problem anymore. It was the CERT of my country that had to deal with the medical provider and sort out what to do. In my case, if I see it from outside, and it's been like 9 years now. Oh my God! In that kind of problems for me, it's like a red alert. It's like, okay, shut down everything, stop operations, fix this, and you don't do anything until this is get solved. We found the root cause of this, and we make sure that these kind of things are not happening anywhere else in the system. Because if you find a problem in hardening like that, it's pretty likely that other good practices when it comes to security weren't followed, and yeah, you could probably find some other issues that might be as severe or more or less, but it's pretty unlikely that that's the only issue a system might have. If you find that, yeah, I can bet if I was on Blackjack, I would hit and I would say, yeah, give me another car because I'm pretty sure something else is going to show up. Anyway, I forgot about that. Now we go to 2015, April. My girlfriend again told me, Alberto, can you enter into my medical provider website, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't learn, I never learned, I know, I went there. And this time, don't worry, I didn't have to use admin as credentials to enter to see anything. I didn't need any credentials, actually. I could browse through the 200,000 medical records without any kind of authorization, just modifying the parameters of a URL in the system. I could browse through each one of the records of the medical of the patient. I was, oh no, I cannot believe this. Why do I keep entering here? Okay, it took me like probably 10 to 15 minutes to be able to do that. And as I told you, when you are into this field after some time, you can basically smell when you are in front of a system that is very likely to have some flaws. Yeah, and that's it. I just had to do curiosity and some experience. That was all I needed, actually. just modifying the parameters of a URL is not a big deal. I mean, well, confirming that you weren't required to be authorized to access to that information was just something that happened naturally, which is terrible. I mean, imagine this situation. Imagine those parameters I was modifying. If I put them in a text file, those 200,000 records modify in a text file, and I send that to Google to index. Okay, then people would enter any name in that system, and Google would actually index all the medical records of those people. That is not crazy. That could happen. But okay, I send an email to the start of my country. Hello, I enter here. I could enter in this place of the parameters of a URL, like blah blah blah. Kind regards, Alberto Gil. My IP address is this one. Boom. Okay, that was in a weekend. That was I don't remember what day it was, but again, after a few hours, I got an answer saying, "Thank you, Alberto." Blah blah blah. And I said, "Okay, don't you ever enter again, Alberto, please. This system is a headache." 2016, December. My girlfriend was not in Montevideo where I live, but in outside Montevideo, in a place where connectivity and internet was really, really bad at that time. And she needed to access to the results of a medical an analysis they made on her blood. Okay, she asked me to look for that result, and okay, I entered into her account, and the system had a little restriction. You could only you could only search for certain information using a 3 months time frame. So I was looking from 2009 until 2016. Now, there's no way I was going to do it using 3 months periods of time for each search. Okay, let's say that I kind of did some modifications. So I did a search from 2009 until the moment I was doing that search. I pressed search and the system crashed. Yeah, I'm guilty of that. Okay, yeah, I'm guilty. Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm too lazy. I wasn't going to spend like a week doing that research. So yeah, I crashed the system because of that thing. Yeah, the system wasn't. There was a reason why the search was limited to 3 months. But okay, after an hour or so, the system was up again. So I didn't feel that guilt. And actually, it's not a crime. It was nothing that was done on purpose to create any kind of damage or any kind of problem. It was a little accident. Okay, that's it. September 2017, Interpol visit me and arrest me, handcuff me, send me to their offices. I didn't know what was going on until they started interrogating me. And okay, basically, apparently, the website of this medical provider was hacked, and they stole the database of the patients of this service, and they were asking certain amount of bitcoins in order not to release that information. I really was completely taken aback by surprise with that. Of course, they asked me, "Did you blah blah? Did you do this blah blah blah?" And no, I didn't do that. And I was taking for granted that those guys actually knew about my prior report. A year after that, I realized no, they didn't know. They didn't know anything. In 2 days, I was sent to prison for 8 months. The judge considered that I was very dangerous because of my knowledge of computer security, and because it was very likely that I could escape from the country. So, despite the fact that my mother offered some properties as a way of giving a warranty that I wasn't going to do that, despite the fact that they could use other alternative measures such as, I don't know, put, some kind of GPS unit to monitor where I was. They could put me in home prison. They could have taken a lot of additional measures instead of sending a person to prison, because when you're sending somebody to prison actually as a preventive measure, you're destroying the person's life in most of the cases. The person and the people that are surrounding that person are also being affected, destroyed. That person is pretty likely to lose his job. his society is going to actually make him pay for that for the rest of his life, no matter how how I don't know how severe or not the supposed crime was. So it's a big price a person has to pay if they're taking that measure. But the judge thought that, yeah, in my case, the only thing she could do was send me to prison. So I was sent to prison. Long story short, I was released after 8 months because my lawyer made an appeal, and the appeal was in my favor. I was released after paying a $10,000 bail. Well, I came back to my house, and well, I started uh, first. First, okay, it was an experience that for me was open-minded. I learned a lot. It was traumatic at the same time. I won't deny it. I imagine somebody like me who never had an issue with police or any kind of my family. I mean, it's not only me. I mean, being in a criminal environment had nothing to do with my life. And from one day to another, I was sent into a place where everybody was a criminal, bragging of their crimes. The guys who committed the most, I don't know, the craziest crimes were the ones that were actually the most respected ones. Okay, that's not easy. That's not easy, and you're not prepared. None of us are prepared for that, especially if you're a person who was in his early 40s. So it was complicated, but okay, I decided that I wouldn't let that destroy me, that I would get out of there stronger than I was before, and so I did. Okay, then I started taking a look at the file of my case after months of being released from prison, and I realized so many things that were completely things that I cannot understand until now. For example, one of the things is that the director of the CERT, that person that in 2014 replied and said, Alberto, I confirm that the information you sent is correct, was an interview by the judge, and the judge asked him, did Alberto Gil report any security problem in the system? And the director of the CERT's answer was, I do not recall, actually, no. I cannot, no. I look up some files, but I didn't find anything. Okay, in this kind of cases, in a criminal case, the answer is yes or no. Actually, you have to go to the system and check whether there is a ticket or a report from this person or there is not. If you answer that, the judge would say, okay, this hacker is full of BS. I won't believe anything. The director of the cert doesn't recall. Okay, then I take that as a no. But why did that person answer that? And I never had the chance to actually confront that because I had copies of everything, the ticket numbers of the email. I mean, everything about that. I have copies and evidence of everything, but the Interpol knew nothing. This guy of the CERT was denying that I have done any. So the judge was basically thinking that I was a criminal. In my house, they found a lot of equipment that was related to anybody working in this field of cybersecurity, but they could only read that as items used by people that were criminals. They could not give a second reading about the things that I had. It's pretty interesting because in an audio that was released by the police, where the director of Interpol is talking about the case, at the end he says, and we say a mask of Anonymous, which means that, okay, this guy was obviously, we were following the right traces when we got this guy. Just because of, come on, a mask of Anonymous was for them the ultimate evidence that I was the one who committed that crime. That was really very stupid. But anyway, then I took a look at the supposed mail asking for cryptos in order not to release information. They say send, I don't remember the amount of cryptos, to the following address. And then then it was empty. It was supposed to appear the address to send the Bitcoin. Nothing was there. And when I saw that, I was saying, fuck, this is pathetic. And they accused me of that. Come on. There was no address for to send the supposed Bitcoin for the ransom. And the prosecutor, that was the first question the prosecutor should have asked me. How were you supposed to get the cryptos if you didn't include an address to get them? they never realized that because they had no clues about cryptos. From my house, they sent 2 physical coins, and in the press release of the police, they took photograph of them and they say, we seized Bitcoin from the house of the hacker. It was 2 physical Bitcoins that had a B on them, and they thought those physical Bitcoins were actually Bitcoins. yeah, that's how competent the police was in this kind of cases. Well, those are 2 examples. It was a very long process. It ended at a year ago. Right now, I'm free of any criminal charges. I have no criminal charges. It's over. And the thing that during all this time, I was constantly exposing and posting information regarding my case from the file of my case, from other sources, always with evidence supporting what I was posting. I mean, I was not making up anything. I mean, everything I posted was supported by certain document, evidence, or whatever. Okay. And I thought actually that, okay, I will keep doing this. I mean, I won't give them a break. And at the beginning of the year, I actually, somebody contacted me and told me, wow, Alberto, your efforts are actually paying for. The Interpol is no longer in charge of this kind of investigations. They have no competence when it comes to this kind of things. The person in charge of computer-related crimes of the Interpol has been removed from his position. Right now, there is a unit of cybercrime that is composed by people that got some formal education in computer forensics and in investigations related to cybercrime from experts in United Kingdom. And the person in charge of that unit is a prosecutor that is a prosecutor in charge of cybercrime in Uruguay. So it was because of all the noise I made, how evident the things that they did wrong were, and how it was me this time that I went to prison. But it could have been Kay, I don't know, Maria, anybody could have actually been me. The difference is that having been me meant that I have had some experience in computer forensics. So I could clearly see all the problems and flaws that were in those processes that were really breaking my eyes. Without that knowledge, anything that actually they did in front of the eyes of anybody that didn't have any kind of education in computer forensics would never have known that they were really not contaminated the evidence, not having a chain of custody of the things that were said. Basically, they were doing everything that should never be done in a process like that. So I said, okay, this cannot continue. I must start screaming and share with the people this problem in order to solve it. In Uruguay, nobody wanted to cover my story. Nobody wanted to hear what happened to me after prison. They destroyed me with the press release of the police when I was arrested. But when I was after prison, my life, even though all the most important journalists in Uruguay knew my story, they knew me personally, none of them wanted to engage and actually gave me the opportunity to tell my side of the story. So that was frustrating. But I said, you know what? I don't care. I mean, Uruguay, it's only 3 million people. Let's go out there. I mean, the world has like, I don't know, 7 billion people. Let's go and share a story with those 7 billion people. Who cares about 3 million people? So that was my strategy to create that noise. And I very, I don't know, the fact that I was supported by all the community of cybersecurity people in the world, for me was gratifying. And actually, if it wasn't because of that, I would never have actually have been doing that for so many years. I would have given up shortly after starting, but no, the love, support I got during all these years was priceless for me, and they gave me the energy to keep doing. And at the end, the learning is that, wow, any of us can actually make changes in a system, in society that is wrong. Just doing this kind of things, determination, takes time. In my case, took a lot of time, money, my I don't know, my physical health, my mental health, my emotional health. I lost everything, basically, mostly everything, but it was part of the price I have to pay. But the idea was that nobody else would actually have to go through this in the future. So mission accomplished, but not completely, because during all this process, I was contacted by people from other countries, for example, Turkey, India, and the situation there is not very different than the situation here. So, okay, I could make a change here. Now, let's go. Let's help people in other countries. Come on, the mission is not over. Let's change the fucking world.
Man, that's actually a crazy and very rough story, but I'm glad that you shared with us. And yeah, it's actually crazy. And maybe the roughest part is like the reputation, because it's actually the government attacking you, so it must be hard. But as you said, like, it doesn't matter if your friends don't believe you, if the people around you don't believe you. Like, fuck it, there's 7 billion people. I love that, and I love that you're making a book and trying to make some situations. And I
Nacho. Okay,
think that actually
okay, sorry.
happened, like the people on the own company attacked you, something like that. And also, well, welcome Albert, Michael, to speaker mode, Pray, and everybody listening. I just want to say that if you can share the room, it would be awesome, so more people can hear other people's stories, which I am enjoying so far. But yeah, that's all. It's if there was no Bitcoin address and no ransom, like, what is your
Yeah,
theory? I
I'm
guess
having
you
some
don't have
trouble with the
a theory.
connection, Nacho. Nacho, I'm having some. Sorry, Nacho. I'm calling you Nacho. Sorry, I'm crazy. I'm having some trouble with the connection. I will disconnect and connect again. Okay?
I don't think so, because I also couldn't hear him for like a few minutes or a few seconds, I would say. Uh, Hello, Gabo.
Oh,
How's it
oh,
going on your end? I
Michael, do
think
you hear me
that
now?
yes, I hear you clearly now. Oh yeah, he's back.
Uh, okay, so
I think
it
your
was
your
me
network is
actually
breaking a
logging,
little
or
bit.
was Alberto?
I think it was you actually rocking, because there was some few seconds you just spanned out for a little bit.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm sorry about that,
All right, so
but well, Alberto, you're back here, so I'm gonna let you answer that, and then Michael, we go with you, please.
all
Yeah,
right.
sorry. What was the question? Sorry.
Okay, okay. Do you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay, perfect. So the question was, what are your final thoughts or theories that actually happened? Like, it was the government trying to frame you, it was another hackers trying to frame you, was it their own company that they have the info for a lot of years and they didn't know, like, didn't do anything about that, like, security gap, that, yeah,
Mhm.
there was a breach there, they know, they had the intel. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, actually, there are so many things I don't know that for me, giving you, I can guess and I can give you some hypothesis of what might eventually have happened, but I have to be careful because I don't want to say things that everything I say I want to be supported by certain evidence, but I can tell you, for example, the company, the medical provider, a month after this. Oh, by the way, I forgot one tiny little detail. The outgoing traffic of the server of the medical provider, the date they were supposedly hacked, was 150 megabytes, which is like probably 4 or 5 songs in MP3 format. I don't think it's like 200,000 medical records, 150 megabytes. So yeah, that's a tiny detail I forgot to tell you. But anyway, months after that happened, like 10 people from that medical provider were arrested and sent to prison because of fraud. They were actually, uh, I don't remember exactly, but basically, I think they were um, having people that were without, I mean, people that were homeless, that they were getting their information and they were enrolling them into their system in order to get some funds and that the government pays for giving assistance to them. Maybe I am not completely right in the way I'm explaining this, but the fact is that at least 10 people went to prison because of fraud in that medical provider, from mid-level management to below. They were investigating the top management of them, but I think top level management of something like that are never touched by justice. Or I don't know. Okay, this is something a personal opinion, but it is a fact. 10 people went to prison. Maybe, and just maybe, there was something there in those systems where they knew I could access to that would be evidence of something not very good going on, something that might be shady or something that they wanted to hide, and maybe they were like, I don't know, scared that they knew that a person had on a regular basis found problems in their systems. Maybe it was that they were trying to hide something that was not supposed to be known. That's one hypothesis. Now, then, there are other hypotheses that, if you don't mind, I can post on the next a video that was created by some guys of a hacking group in Spain in 5 months after me being released from prison. Oh my God. And the way these guys actually, they say, okay, this could have been because of this or this or this. Wow, the reading of the situation was amazing, and those guys really know that they have experience when it comes to this kind of situations. They said so many things that I never told, but actually happened as part of my story. So I was like taking myself, when I was hearing them, I was saying, holy shit, this guys knows about the case. Why the police? I mean, I wish the police knew as much as these guys that live in Spain about the case. It's amazing. I will put on the next a video where you will be able to see, okay, what hypothesis do you want? You might want the Interpol being, I don't know, trying, the medical provider sending an IP to the Interpol, making a false report of a crime, all the, wow, by the way, something happened in my cellular, but it's okay, it's normal. No, or the medical provider or the Interpol actually having some deals that they wanted to cover. Oh, another tiny detail. You know what? The email that they got with this supposed ransom that didn't include the address to pay for it was received on February. I don't remember the date, but at almost 10 p.m. The report about the issues was made by the medical provider the same day, but an hour before that mail was received in the servers. Yeah, they were really something that, okay, they act in a very proactive way. They were prepared for that. Amazing, my respects. And nobody realized that. And it's frustrating because the power of the judge, prosecutor, you can show them everything in front of their eyes, and they will just don't give a F about that. You can show them, listen, this is not consistent. How could this email have been received in the servers after reviewing all the timestamps and to make sure that there were no inaccuracies in that data that appear in the papers printed with the email? Because rule number one of evidence, the evidence should be preserved. Rule number two, the evidence should be preserved in its original way it was created, originated, or whatever. We're talking about an email. An email is in a digital form, received, transferred. Okay, if you're going to have an email as an evidence of anything, okay, you have to actually store it in a digital way. A printed copy of an email can be used as a reference. A notary should make sure that and guarantee that that printed mail is actually reflecting what the original mail contains. But of course, the metadata and things like that are not going to be reflected in a printed copy of anything. There was no digital copy of anything. So all the rules regarding evidence were not followed. I could never ask for a third independent party review of what happened because nothing was preserved. So what can I ask for? It's a basic right that any criminal or any person accused of any crime have. They can say, okay, I would like to have it a review of what the police did because the police are men and men make mistakes. And maybe somebody was sent to prison because the police, instead of putting a 6 in an IP, they put a 9. That happens because we are human beings and everybody has the right to have it reviewed. Okay, I didn't have that right because nothing was preserved, so I could just only accept what was printed, and that is very frustrating. After having some education in computer forensics and knowing what should and should never be done, and experiencing this, I was basically wanting to okay. One of the first places I contacted was a magazine in United Kingdom, Digital Forensics Magazine, where my case was immediately published, and they could hardly believe what happened to me regarding the way it was handled. But yeah, that was one of the hypotheses. Sorry, I spoke too much. Sorry.
Yeah, you know, it's okay. It's okay. If you want, you can share the video. Like you can put it on the jumbotron. It would be awesome for everyone to see that. But I'm glad that you received like the help and support from communities around the world. Like it sounds actually like dope, and I'm glad that this is like the Web3 space, kind of. You know, this is like the reflection of Web3. You know, people all around the world, like it doesn't need to be on your country, know your rules or your laws, whatever. Like they understand people on the same level. You know, they I think we all connect through here in a different way. You know, for example, on this niche, for example, like bearded bodies is a niche for entrepreneurs, and I've met a lot of entrepreneurs around the world, and we support each other. So I love that they help you in your niche. So that's great. And actually, you may have got like in a coincidence, like like in crossfire, and all the evidence was on you. So it's crazy, and it's actually sad. But I'm going to let Albert. I think he has the hand raised, so I'm gonna let him do a question. Or yeah, welcome to the stage, bro.
Hello, how are you, Bearded? So I saw you invited me through your list. I'm not sure how you found people, but I think that was a very interesting marketing method. It's definitely very controversial because some people may look at it like spam, but also you may get some interesting minds that are actually going to be intrigued with your project like this. So, I do applaud you for taking that risk and trying to be innovative in the space. I'm here to ask questions about your project, if that's fine.
Of course, yeah, for sure. So yeah, first I'm going to yeah, let's finish with Alberto because it's actually a really interesting story, and I'm yeah more than open to answer any questions about the project, about how did we find
I don't have much
everybody.
time, space.
Yeah,
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 they
yeah.
can actually
Alberto,
go
are
ahead
you
and
okay
ask.
if I answer some questions?
Yeah, can go ahead
Yeah,
and
sure,
ask.
sure,
I don't see. Just go ahead.
Yeah, for
sure.
sure. Albert, shoot.
2 questions. I'll keep it under 2 minutes. Number one, when do you plan to mint
Yeah.
out this project?
So
When do I want to mean?
when are we? I'm sorry, Alberto. What?
Can you repeat me the question? Sorry, because I was actually listening to the video I just posted. Sorry. Can you please repeat the question, my friend?
Okay. So Albert is asking a question about bearded bodies. I'm going to respond to him because he doesn't have much time, and then I'm going to get back to you and your story. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure, of course.
Okay. So Albert, did you ask when are we going to meet? Albert, you there? I think your question was that,
Apologize
right?
for the inconvenience. I have a call that I'm doing this information, so that's why I'm here. Yes, that was my question. Thank you.
Okay. So yeah, for everybody to know, like our collection is a 10K collection of NFTs, and we've divided that in four stages. Right now, we've opened our first stage of mint that consists on releasing 750 NFTs. We started like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago with the first stage. And on the first stage, in order to create more volume, to create more bearded bodies out there, and like spread the message, and also give back to our first supporters. I think that's very important because our community is like everybody that we have on the community that has a bearded body is like a true supporter. We love that. And yeah, so we started the mint 3 weeks ago, and the first 750 will receive another NFT. So we have uh, 1,500 out there bearded bodies, and we can start with the secondary market. So a next stage will be announced later. We're trying to start with the secondary a little bit, have the exposure of being there to create volume, to create a floor price, and to be like steady. So yeah, we've started with the first mint that is now live for whitelist and for the public mint actually. So yeah, I think we're doing a kind of different mint because we don't want to hype the community in some way and just like sold out. But and also we are on a bear. So yeah, all of the people that are actually right now in our community are because they are like true supporters of the cause, and we are growing like that.
All right, thank you. Two questions. So 750 NFTs. First of all, is it going to be all under one OpenSea collection? You said that you're spreading your mint out into multiple waves. Are you going to be doing everything under one collection? Will it be one OpenSea link, or will you have multiples? And what is the mint price? And how many traits do you have for 10K? Thank you.
Okay, so first, well, the last question, how many trades? We have 250 trades plus. Yeah, so every bearded body actually is very unique and very different from each other. If you see, they are totally random, and I think some of them are very funny because they're like so random actually. And our mint price is 0.03 Ethereum and 0.04 Ethereum for the public. I'm sorry, 0.03 for whitelist. We are in Ethereum. We also mint. We have cross mint on our website, so you can mint on Solana. And yeah, we're not. We're trying to make this multi-chain. We don't want to stay just on one chain because I think that's the cool thing about the blockchain. Actually, that yeah, we connect from all over the world. Why put like a wall between blockchains? Oh, I'm just Solana, I don't buy other projects, I don't buy Ethereum because I am Solana, I don't buy Polygon, we hate on Polygon, blah blah blah. I think that we're here for the same reason. Doesn't matter of the blockchain. I think we're here for the technology and to connect with like-minded people. So yeah, we're trying to do as most like multi-chain as we can. This first stage is going to be on Ethereum. Well, as I said, you can also mint on Solana. And for the next stages, I think there's going to be some changes, but some good changes, of course, for the project. And yeah, to create this multi-chain environment we're aiming for. Did that answer your
Yes, I'm
question?
going to respond to you with one thing and a very solid piece of advice. Now, I think that you have a great mindset and a great vision. I think your execution is awful in my opinion. I think like you should really think of a better way to make a small community first instead of giving them the idea that you want to make a 10K. I think all the shared chains is going to create a lot of confusion. I think your biggest selling point was going to be onboarding. If you're able to onboard people like efficiently through like the normal world, you have a solid chance. But as an investor, and I'm just going to be honest, like this does not seem super investable. I would advise you to allow the community to create traits for the next few generations. That would be really important. If you're able to create, allow the community to create traits and allow it to further the collection, like for example, they make their own designs, their own 101s, that would be really big. But at the end of the day, most collections with your theme, I've seen them over and over. The issue is that the initial holders buy into a deep promise, and then it's them usually giving their bags out to keep this project maintaining. I really do wish you good luck, and I hope you succeed. Sadly, I will not be minting. I'll probably be leaving your Discord, but I do wish you guys success.
Thank you so much for the feedback, actually. And yeah, I think like we're doing a different project. We're not here. Albert, I think he left, but that's okay. I think actually that every feedback is well received. Like I don't find it like a bad thing or an insult. Like yeah, a lot
And
of people
god
may think
damn
that this is
it, I
bad,
was
this is
gonna
good.
grill
Like
this idiot. I was gonna grill this idiot, Gabo. God damn it, he left. What a bozo. Anyways, go ahead.
No, I think it's okay. Everybody has their own opinion. I think we can do better as always. We're always trying to do better, And I think we're doing this on the right way, creating like slow and steady. We have our community. We are starting to give. I wanted to respond to him because he said as an investor I wouldn't invest because then I have all the money from the like all the holders and then I don't deliver or blah blah blah. But we're
No,
starting before Mint with partnerships and discounts to the people. We're trying to like give the benefits before entering the community. But yeah, as I said,
Gabo,
like every feedback is well
I
received.
just want to say this, and I feel like this is really important. Hopefully, for everyone in the room, like it's a small group of us, and hopefully we carry on this effort, right? But Web3 is a brand new industry, and people, we don't fully understand what are the full scopes of the industry and how we're going to be successful, right? We don't understand customer acquisition cost, what's going to be our lifetime value for every customer that's going to walk in the door. We just don't have enough metrics yet, right? And so when you have bozos like that even talk about securitizing our industry by coming into spaces and talking about being investors, the first thing you should always do is question them like, do you actually give cash to startups upfront in exchange for equity, or are you just buying a collectible online and supporting a collection? If that's what you're doing, I would highly encourage you to stop saying that you're an investor, because one, you sound like an idiot, and two, you're inviting regulators into our industry. When you go around thinking like you're a sophisticated operator when you're not at all. You're not a sophisticated operator coming into spaces talking about asking really shallow, dumb questions with no depth. Yeah, I mean, we really have to actively shut those kind of people down. And listen, you handle it perfectly. I understand you're a project founder and like you hold certain responsibilities, especially from that account you're talking on right now. And so, but again, like you have every right to crush people who are coming in this space with absolutely no knowledge, absolutely no depth, absolutely no understanding. I was just getting fired up, bro. I'm sorry. I was listening. I'm listening to this idiot with his questions. I'm like, okay, I'll jump up now because he's like, talking out of his ass. But yeah, my bad. Back to you, bro.
No, actually, it's okay. Yeah, no, I believe it's. uh, To be honest, I believe like he is not entirely immersed in the project. He haven't seen enough. He haven't seen like the full year we've been trying. Yeah, and you're right. Web3 is a very new space, crypto, NFTs, and the form of like marketing your project or taking the advance into your like target audience to your customers. I think it's like, as you said, very new. There's always new metas. Every month is a new meta of, yeah, let's follow this, let's follow trends. But in order to create a new one, it may be weird at the first time. Like for example, the nominees, we select people, and yeah, what he said, it was actually true. A lot of people think it's a spam. For example, how did you find me? Why did you put my picture here? And they think it's spam. But I think there's different ways to approach. Not everybody will like it. Actually, we've received like two messages of people like, why are you using my picture? Like, you don't have the rights, delete this. And all we are doing is actually selecting them, like congratulating them because they are creating something. We think they are bringing value, and they then attack us. But I think that's good. Like everybody has their opinion, and we respect that. If people don't like their picture or nomination there, we can delete it. It's totally okay. Michael, you have your hand raised, please.
Like, bro, I'm just gonna say it. Yeah, the guy was just plain rude. Like, he was actually very rude. What Prey was saying, I actually just respected you because you're the one leading the space, and of course you've got like the bearded, but because that guy just came in and he was just plain rude. We just finished listening to what Alberto was saying, and we were supposed to continue the questions and answers with him. Before even going into like him coming here to like just take over the space, ask a dumbass question, and then fucking leave immediately. That's not just proper. That was just plain rude, if you ask me. And to be honest, if anyone actually is matured enough and knows what they're coming here to do, because if you're coming here to look for value, you won't just come and ask such really dumb question and then you just walk away. And what's the correction given there? It's not really nice. If you ask me, that was just plain rude. And I don't think you should give spaces for that, because Of course, we're trying to, work to get customers, and some customers are just gonna not be, nice people, but you just know from a certain, entrance for to how somebody is about to just go about, like, the way they want to talk to you. It wasn't just proper, from my own perspective, to be honest. So yeah.
Thanks, Michael. And yeah, it's actually funny, because this is an open mic for everyone. I thought he wanted to share his story, like follow the thread, that like the topic actually, and he wanted to do questions because he was in a hurry, and all he do was like, yeah, like it was not the time. I'm always open to answer questions, like whatever you have in mind. But if you're saying something that it's not with the best intentions on a space that it's entirely on another topic, like yeah, it was a little bad, but it doesn't matter. Like, let's go on. Pray, please go ahead.
No, thank you, Gabo. Listen, like, I just want to say, like, I love, like, here's what I'll say. There's two things. I'll start with the first one. I love Bozo and Bozos. It's one of my favorite activities on Twitter. I love listening to stupid people talk. I think the more they talk, the deeper they dig themselves in that hole, right? And so, I love when people give these somewhat they think is sophisticated takes, and it's just really fun time to like go up and actually like do some digging and understand like why the fuck did you say the thing you said, like you sounded so stupid. I'm very interested in understanding your thought process. So like I just want to make that clear. Like I jumped on stage immediately as soon as he said that, just for a chance to actually bozo his ass with that bozo ass take he gave, but he ran. But the second thing I really want to like say, I think it's totally okay to ask uncomfortable questions. So like I love to ask very uncomfortable questions, and people will say like, why are you asking these questions? And if I ask you, say you're a startup founder, and I ask you about your burn rate, for example, and you look at me sideways, you're like, why would I ever tell you my burn rate? I'd be like, hey, I'm a founder as well. I'm self-taught, and I'd love to get your insight on this. Like, how do you manage your burn rate in Web3, and compared with like the number of employees that you have, like how much, how are you going to manage like not spending as much money and keeping money in the bank? That's a pretty uncomfortable question to ask any founder, because they're not going to want to talk about it. But I'll justify why I'm asking. I'm not just going to say like, oh, like why are you burning this much cash? So I just want to say, like, it's okay to ask these kind of questions, but you just gotta have some depth. Like, you gotta understand, like, why, what's your motive to ask the question. Yeah, I just want to say that, and hopefully we can get him back in here. Like, I'd love to actually talk to that dude. Like, for real, I'd love to have a conversation with him. That's 100%. But back to you, bro. My bad.
No, it actually, well, I'm glad that you, yeah, I think we think a little similar, and yeah, I'm glad like always there's people like-minded people backing up, and yeah, I'm glad that you're here with Michael, and I'm so sorry, Alberto, that this whole thing, like, yeah, we cut you off, and we were hearing your story and everything.
No, it
uh,
was funny because actually I thought he was I had this problem with the connection, and I thought he was asking me a question, and I said, what the hell is this person asking me? Well, then I realized it wasn't for me the question, but that's okay.
that's totally okay. But well, I'm going to be honest, I want to finish this space, not right now. It's not the pressure. I want to finish this space like hearing another person, like Alberto. It was such nice time having you and actually hearing your story. For everyone to know, on the Jumbotron there's the YouTube link, well, for the case of Alberto. If I'm not wrong, is the Spain people that was helping him, supporting him, and like analyzing the case he was involved in. So yeah, it's very interesting. If you want to know more, Alberto, I definitely encourage you to follow him and yeah, follow his journey. I think he will release his book soon. So yeah, you must definitely see a little bit about him. Yeah, so shout out to you, Alberto. And yeah, so I'm going to, yeah, I want to go with another one, another builder here, another creator. We have Prey, Lilo, and Michael, and I want to know if someone, one of you, wants to speak about it, your story, like where did you start, why are you here, and how did you end up here too. I think it's very important, and very funny because we have so much different backgrounds, and yeah, it's crazy. How do we end up in the NFTs? Yeah, Lilo, please go ahead.
Yeah, dude. No, I'd love to share my kind of story, and it's kind of it's not a very eventful one, but I started about 2-3 years ago. Obviously, I was into the whole crypto thing, and then first heard about NFTs. When the big Bored Ape kind of thing was exploding, all the celebrities and everything was hopping on to the collection. But no, I kind of saw a TikTok about it on the For You page. I was just hanging out. I'm like, this looks pretty. I'm pretty sure it was Shamu actually. So me and him talk now. Yeah. Oh my God. What was I? I talk about like random stuff and I get off track. So my apology. But no, I saw a TikTok and I'm like, all right. So I started doing some research, and then I kind of just ended up here. So it wasn't a very eventful story, but yeah, it led me to becoming a builder. So shit.
Let's go. Yeah, I think a lot of people actually end up here like that. Well, on the start of Bored Apes, when famous people were buying it. Actually, I just saw like an archive of Instagram stories, and I started because I saw a JPEG, like a rock, an Ethereum rock, sold for over $1 million, and I was seeing all the craziness with NFTs, and that was the drop that, yeah, that's how I got in, a rock that actually sold for $1 million. I didn't understand anything, so I started looking up a lot of videos about NFTs. I learned much more about crypto. I knew about crypto, but I wasn't actually into it. I haven't didn't really have any crypto, but yeah, I think NFTs were for me, more than crypto. I think it's different how you connect with people on communities. It was something that I've never seen before. I've played games a lot through my life, and you don't connect like that on like servers or whatever. I think this is really different because it's like a more, it's crazy to call actually mature the space, because everybody is so like immature, but at the same time everybody has a job, does very important things and creates such amazing projects and companies, and it's like an immature but mature way of connecting with friends. So I really like that. You can yeah, I think you can grow more beyond just like a game or something like that. Yeah, so it's crazy. I think that's how I got here. Pray, Michael, I don't know, how did you get here? How did you found out about NFTs or crypto? Michael, you pray, are you there?
Yeah, bro. I think you actually rocked for a few seconds. I couldn't hear you. Sorry, I didn't know you were calling me up. Thank you so much for the
Oh,
opportunity, though. Like, yeah,
yeah, for sure, for
it's
sure.
actually
Yeah,
nice
I
to.
just want to know like that. How did you end up here? How did you find about NFTs?
Okay. So like for me, I've actually been in crypto for like a while now. I started in 2014, and in 2014, when I just started, at the point in time, I was still a student, and the university in my days, and it was just something I came about while I was trading IQ options at the time. So I basically came into the space with binary trading, and I saw Bitcoin. I saw like I used to watch like this particular, because I just used to think about it as an asset that you could trade on within this IQ options platform, but I didn't really dive into it to completely understand what this was about. But in 2017 was actually very interesting, and because of the way it spiked on the charts, because of the way the volatility of this particular asset was, and I just took some interest into it, and I was like, okay, let me understand it a little bit better. And from that particular period in time, it was actually very interesting. Just got to learn a little bit more about it. I didn't get to really know about like the utilities it could bring until 2020, 2021, where we started discussing about like NFTs. I know it definitely started before then, but the entire bubble of it started within that period of time. Then I got to think about like, okay, how do I get to understand this, and also you know, get to how do I put this now? Fully understand the concept of it, since it's coming from the blockchain technology, and also, there's this particular asset that has been created that is called, Bitcoin. At the time, Ethereum was also out, and there was this also Repo. I was actually involved very much with Repo at the time. Before I started getting to understand about exchanges, this was right now in 2019, 2020 as well. I started understanding about other exchanges like Binance. I think the first one I came in contact with, where I actually interacted with Bitcoin, was local Bitcoin at the time. So over this period of time, it has actually been very, very interesting for me, finding out about NFTs, doing a good deep dive on it to understand, because I do have a background in communications engineering as well. So it just makes me a very curious individual who wants to really understand like how things work. So in this sense, I must tell you, I've tried to understand like what goes on within the NFT space, like what these utilities are supposed to be for, and I've gotten to also understand, the community it gets to bring and build over this period of time. Just being socially active at the moment, understanding how people, are using this particular, they'll call it PFPs, to build communities in such a way where it's just unbelievable the kind of support you get from the community. I could just listen into prayer, just pray just a little bit ago, a minute ago, and the way he actually stood up for what is going on here, it was just interesting to see, like, okay, you've got like community who would back you up when you get bozos like that who would come to try to talk bad about what you're actually trying to do. So I've gotten to understand like the community. I've gotten to understand like it just changes the entire marketing game. That's why, when he came here and was asking marketing questions and feeling like he knows all the shit with marketing in Web3, and I'm like, you don't know it until you have actually tried to do it, because you can't get it one way, bro. Like the honest truth is like, building a community, getting to be involved with the community, and also trying to be a founder who is also trying to build utility with your product. It's almost two very, very far-fetched games. You need to also get somebody that would handle the marketing perspective. And trust me, handling the marketing perspective is something else, because it's trying to, a friend today was telling me how market is about manipulation of emotions. It's just getting people to really want to be interested in what you're doing. If you're listening to Alberto's story today, he basically just told us about like a very emotional story that you would want to understand who is this person. You would want to understand, okay, how much of this person done. I would want to know more from this person. I would want to learn from this person's experience, because experience is the best teacher, if you ask me. So in this real sense, like I just feel like nobody really gets it yet, and we are all trying to get it. Look at this. I can't even remember what particular car company. They came in with millions of dollars actually to get into the marketing space. They produced NFTs, and not even how many. They couldn't even sell up to half of even 20% of their own mint collection. So it's just being able to build communities. Just this NFTs, like, it has just taught me a whole lot. And I've just enjoyed the space, because when you really understand the walks of life, you would know that everyone is supposed to be communicating. Everyone is supposed to be free to do business together without any rigid processes. So it's just a lot for me, and I've just really loved the space, and I've met quite a few people on this particular space, and it has just been an amazing and interesting experience, if you ask me. So I started here in trading while I was in school. Afterwards, I became an entrepreneur. Started businesses, and just really enjoyed the space. And I've also been building within the space, and I've just loved building within the space. And it's just great meeting great people every day, and meeting really, really good individuals on the way. So yeah, thank you. That's my story.
Thank you for sharing your story, Michael. It's very interesting, and actually, you are, well, one of the pioneers of crypto, and what you know. Like, actually, yeah, I think everybody that has started on like 2014, 2015 is actually a pioneer. Like a lot of people, like, nobody knew about crypto unless like you were some kind of tech guy, or like I think like you invest in something, you know the market, what is moving. But yeah, it's actually crazy that you were here for so long, and all the experience you've gathered, and still, in Web3 and NFTs, it's so much different. You've been all these years, well, actually not exactly onto NFTs, but you're right, the market is totally different. That's why big brands fail while entering on Web3. They start doing the typical branding of I don't know, an Instagram page. And actually, to be totally honest, that's how we failed at the beginning. Like, we've been a year here now, and at the first months, we have a team of marketing, and they're very good at what they do, but once we got here, like, nothing was like having results on the first, I don't know, 2 months. Like, we just had, like, I don't know, 5 likes, and it was like, what is happening here? Our visual is cool, our concept is cool, our posts are cool, like the copies, everything was cool. How is this not working? And then, of course, we understand this is more than just saying what you're doing, or whatever. It's actually connecting with each one of you. And I think that's when actually we've learned so much more, not only from the experience but from other people's opinions. Like, we love to do these spaces, like, how did you start? Because we actually want to hear, how did you start? Not, it's not just like a topic to discuss things. I want to know, because I got here for a totally different reason that other people do. So I think it's interesting, so you can learn more about the space itself. So, Lilo, please go ahead.
Yeah, I'll make it quick, but yeah, no, I feel like I kind of like what Michael said. I kind of want to add on to it. I feel like there's so much to learn in this Web3 environment. When it comes to creating an NFT project. When it comes to investing into one, or even building your personal brand. I mean, I feel like PFPs in your name are one of the biggest things. It's like, I see a bearded buddy and I say, oh, that's Nacho, or I see a zillionaire go and I say, oh, it's Kioi, or however you pronounce that. My apologies. But I feel like the name, and then the name and then the profile picture, the repetition of seeing them over and over again, it builds that brand and it builds that recognition that you need. So
Yes, of course, it's really important. And actually, the PFPs are so important, because they represent, like, each person that has a PFP from your project, or another project. That they represent like something, or they believe in something, or they're in the same goal as this project. So it's cool to see. Actually, I think we have a couple of people that has bearded bodies as their profile pictures, and it's just, for me as a founder, it's amazing. It may be 10 people, but for me it's amazing, because I know that they truly believe what we are building here. I know there's a lot of people that do believe what we are building, that they're supporting each day, and they don't have the PFP. But see these people, it's just like, crazy. It's a good feeling, because as you said, it's a totally different market. You don't know anything. The metas, actually, I think that's the best thing to know, that you don't know anything, and metas change so fast. I'm sorry. And it's crazy. You have to adapt, you have to listen to people, and you have to try and do whatever you think is right. Actually, you can't just, oh, this is going to be right. No, you have to try. I think that this is something cool about Web3. You can try different things that you wouldn't normally try, and maybe it's good. Maybe, yeah, you have good results, or you meet someone on the process that will help you to go even further. So it's crazy. There's a lot of possibilities here, and yeah, I think every day, me and Nacho, for example, that we're together on the office normally, we find new opportunities on the way, or just new people that you talk to them once, and then you have a meeting and they tell you, oh man, I think I'm building like the same. Why don't we collab or something like that? And actually, it has happened a lot. So I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful to actually have talked with so many people. I think before Web3, before NFTs, I've never talked to anyone online on my life actually, like just on game servers or things like that. But I haven't actually connected with anyone. So I think Web3 is a game changer in that. It's a game changer in how you do connections and how you do network. I think yeah, it's very new. It's very good, and it's even better than LinkedIn to, in my opinion, because you know people so much faster than usual. So yeah, I think I'm very grateful to be here on Web3 and keep meeting people. I'm very grateful to have met Prey that today backs me up. I'm very grateful to have met Lilo too, that he thinks like me. I think he's young like me, so it's good to have people like him. It's good to have Michael. That yeah, I can't talk more about. I think uh, about Michael, but he's like yeah, it's crazy how we connect. Is he's on every space. I think well, like once or twice a day I've talked with him. It's if it's not on messages, it's on spaces. So yeah, he's here always, and actually everyone here on the space and the people that I see every day. So yeah, before further ado, I think yeah, I'm going to end the space. I've heard a lot about you. Well, Nacho is requesting. I think well, he's going to do some final words before we finalize this space. So Nacho, welcome to the space. I steal your host position.
Hey, hello everybody. No, a pleasure to talk with all of you guys. Like a pleasure to be here. Actually, I was in some meetings that I couldn't join sooner, but I was listening a little bit about the conversation, and where you're talking, and love to see you all here connecting, talking about the same, with the same mindset, with the same ideas. I think that's something like Gabo was saying, like the connections that you generate in Web3 is totally different, and like Gabo, like for me it's the first time that actually I meet people online and connect with them and start working with them, and that happened a lot. No, like right now I'm working with a lot of people here on the space that I just meet, no, and starting doing business, thinking on ideas, thinking on things how we can work together, not only collaborate. No, of course you find all types of people that actually are willing to collaborate and support others without waiting anything, and then of course you have people that don't want it. No, that it's like that. No, it's not a perfect environment, but I think that is really good place to generate connections. And I always think that blockchain and Web3 got a philosophy behind, no? And I think that the philosophy is a philosophy of transparency, of be yourself, of connect with everybody, of support, of collaboration. And I think that for me, if you ask me like what is the philosophy behind Web3 and blockchain, is that the change that we are generating on the world, no? A new way to do business, a new way to connect, a new way to actually like meet people, no? And for me, is the new way to do business, no? The new way to actually, because we are forgetting the old mans in the suits, no? Like it's like only young people with innovative ideas, willing to collaborate, willing to help, willing to leave something to their communities, to the world, to the people. No, are more like people not only looking for fill their pockets with money, no, but help in some ways to the society and people. And I think that that's something that I love here, no, like the creativity and the willing to support. And yeah, no, I just wanted to say that. So I'm not gonna cut you, Gabo, please.
No, well, it's okay. It's okay. It's acceptable. But yeah, it's very true what you say, and yeah, I think that's how why we work together because we think very likely. But yeah, I think it was a long space. It was more than an hour. I'm going to let Prey go before we close this space, and before closing this space too, I want to invite everyone to our chatting with builders tomorrow. It's at the same time, 4:30 p.m. East, and we're going to have a friend that I've met a long time ago, and he's a great artist. So I'm very excited for that. And Pray, go ahead.
Yo, Gabo, thank you for for throwing the space, man. I just want to say that. Sorry, I wasn't able to talk much. I'm trying to cook and stuff. I got my boys here. Um, but listen, like I appreciate the space and I just want to say one thing. Like for me personally, like I have a certain group of friends. Like that's who I roll with on Twitter and sitting in those echo chambers is fun, right? Like it's going to them is fun, like it's hanging out with the homies, and like that's a good time, right? Like I appreciate that too. But what I'm trying to say is like I appreciate the space today, and I'll be paying really close attention to what your guys are throwing up as spaces because, I mean, really, essentially, that's the kind of space I want to be a part of because I was thinking about this the other day. Like, I'm not communicating the value I want to bring to Twitter by just sitting in those echo chambers. And so, like, being in rooms where, we're talking about building and really, like, answering people's questions or taking questions from people is really going to help us grow, grow ourself, like, as a brand, and at the same time, like, grow our understanding of, like, Web3 and, like, the startup ecosystem in Web3. So, I mean, I encourage you to throw these spaces on. I mean, dude, if you could do this every day, I think there's a gap that we can fill. I think the bar is really low on Twitter Spaces, and most people just spend time bullshitting most of the day on Twitter Spaces. So I think there's a space to fill, and I would encourage you, like, if you do this every day, I'll show up and support you. I'll even talk with you the whole time. Like, we can, if nobody wants to talk, like, I'll literally talk about this all day long. And so, like, dude, thank you, right? And I'll be there tomorrow. You said it's 4:30, same time, so I'll definitely be showing up. And yeah, dude, I mean, just keep doing what you're doing. I mean, you're doing God's work. The bar is really low on Twitter, and this is how we're gonna make it in 2023. Like, talking about real progress and how we can solve real problems and really, like, get feedback from each other. So shout out to you, bro. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bray. It's actually, well, very encouraging, and it's good to feel appreciated, and also that you understand what we're building here. It's actually very important, and I'm glad that you feel that way and that you can support and be here with us. And yeah, to be honest, we do these spaces every day with a different topic. Like Lazy Mondays, we try to speak about, yeah, our journeys. How are we here? Why are we here? What are we going to do in the week? Like, more philosophical stuff on Wednesdays on our halftime show too. We have, like, I don't know. I think the other day was motivation. What is motivation for you? What motivates you? Things like that. I think it's very important to talk about that, to realize why are we here? Why are we building? And Tuesdays and Thursdays we talk with builders. It's the show. It's called Chatting with Builders, and it's not a shield, but we call people that are building something or part of a team and actually learn about it. Why did they start, and what is their goal? I think it's important to know what is their goal, besides having money. Yeah, Bray, go ahead.
Well, hey, just on the topic of the space, I guess I'll just talk really quickly about how I got started just into this whole Web3 thing. I was a salesperson, just doing, like, inside sales for, like, software and, like, real estate, and I did that for about 2.5 years. And when COVID happened, literally, like, the whole market, like, kind of crashed because there was too much supply and not enough demand. And so they closed pretty much, like, our whole sales department. They fired me and, like, a bunch of people in my sales department. And I was, like, pretty sour about that when that happened, because you being a company man, you work your ass off, you go to work for the man, and when shit goes south, then they end up throwing you under the bridge. So I was like, this is bullshit. Like, I have to take kind of ownership of, like, my future and, like, what I want to do in the world. And dude, like, I was pretty, and this sounds really fucking silly, guys, but I was playing Cyberpunk, and I saw they were talking about blockchain in Cyberpunk, which was at the time a pretty shitty video game with the initial release. And that literally, like, lit up a light bulb in my mind, because I remember in 2016, gauges and tattoos were first introduced into video games on, like, Watch Dogs. I'm like, holy shit, blockchain is actually beginning to catch traction as far as pop culture goes. So you're going to see a lot more people not go after building after the gold mine, but they're going to want to build tools like shovels and all kinds of tools for this new era in Web3. And so that's when it lit up in my mind. I'm like, I have to learn JavaScript. I have to learn Solidity. Let me just sit down and learn this shit. And I spent about 4 months, because it was during COVID and we were getting that COVID money. I spent 4 months literally every day on Stack Overflow, on GitHub, on Google, just debugging, building really small apps using free camps, online camps for Web3. To build really small apps to get a beginning on that development cycle. and it was really rewarding. And the thing that we recognize is that, like, as far as an insight, like why we got into NFTs, is we saw that most of the marketplaces, and it's really evident today with the Blur and OpenSea, that most marketplaces are just focused on transaction volume. Like all they want is to clear as many sales as they can so they make their commission. Like that's their underlying goal. This is why they go into business. And the money they make, then they can deploy it into other ventures. But we recognize that, and we saw that a lot of people are just, they're bystanders who are not really involved in these scams or rugs. They're just getting hurt by that kind of behavior. That's why we started building what we're building. But yeah, I mean, I wanted to share that story. I'm self-taught. I don't have a computer science degree. I didn't go to college for computer science, and I'm not like a serial startup founder or anything like that. I mean, I just teach myself as I go. I connect with the right people, and it's been a really rewarding experience. And I guess the last thing I end with is, if you're thinking about coding, you should totally learn it. It's an in-demand skill. It's incredible. It will change your life. It will elevate your position. And yeah, so that I just wanted to share a little bit about how I got started, and yeah, hopefully that could connect with some people here in the room. So thank you guys.
Man, thank you for sharing your story. And actually, I envy you that you started like learning about code on COVID. I would love to. To be honest, I have always wanted to learn code. I started with data analysis, but then yeah, I think it got dropped in some part of the way, and I dropped it. But yeah, I think it's very interesting and a very good tool to have nowadays and on the future actually. So yeah, congratulations on knowing that, and you should be proud to say that you didn't. I'm sorry. You should be proud to say that you learned all by yourself. Not that, hey, I didn't go to college, but I still learned. You still learn. I think that's something that goes beyond average. The average people don't learn by themselves. I think that's even more impressive than going to college, actually studying by yourself and learning it and perfectioning it, because experience is what teaches you the most. But yeah, I'm going to go with Lilo and then Michael.
Yeah, dude. No, kind of adding on to what Gabo was saying, dude. No, I can connect to your story, Prey, and it's kind of it's a really cool story, bro. And thanks for sharing. It's one of those really inspirational ones, dude. And you taking the initiative, can't really pronounce that, but you taking the initiative to learn something, bro, without having the background for it is truly insane. I'm kind of in a similar position as you, because I am one of the more younger people in this space, dude. And so yeah, I respect the grind, bro, and keep it up.
Thank you for the words, Lilo. Michael, please.
Yeah, I just actually wanted to say the same. Lila actually covered it. Pray, that's actually a really cool story. I'm actually thinking about, like, developing is something I think, the world is actually moving into. Like, the relevance in the space. It's just actually cool to be like, a developer within, this particular terrain that we are in, because there are a whole lot of companies that know that they have to move into the Web2 space. Even currently in the Web2 space, is not completely covered in the entire globe, and it's actually a pretty cool, like, skill to actually have within your belt, because that's something cool. And you know I really loved your story, and it's since it's self-learned, and if you're giving knowledge, I don't mind. I would like to be a student, and just learn how you get to get these things. And I would just like to be like you a little bit. So if you're tutoring, count the students. You got a student from this.
Michael, bro, don't say that. Come on now. Like, chill, dude. Like, holy shit. I was just sharing a story. No, for sure, dude. No, like, I mean, listen, I will help you out any way I can, friend. Like, it's nothing about that. Like, I'm not the one they want to be. Like, I want to make that clear. I am not the one they want to be. But no, listen, like I'm very excited about, my path, because it is like when you don't know what you're doing and you start to figure it out, it becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more you learn, the better you get at it. But dude, I'll get into DMs for sure and help you out. If you have any questions, just let me know. I'm not an expert. Again, like I don't listen to anyone that says they're an expert. This is some alpha guys. Anybody that says they're an expert, they're gonna rug you. That's a fact. Happened every time. So, yeah, I mean, just stay away from the experts, air quote. But yeah, dude, thank you for the hype up. Right, I'm gonna hire you as a hype up man. Like, fuck, dude. Holy shit.
Nah, thank you, bro.
Yeah,
Nah, bro, thank you so much for being just like you're too good. You're too good. Definitely. No worries. I'm gonna go into your DMs and I'm gonna. This is what this space is about. This is why I love to build this space. Like I've just connected with quite a lot of people from this space, and it's just cool. Like I keep meeting cool people here. So I just love this. Thank you so much, and I'm just gonna, I'll hit your DMs immediately. Let's discuss this. I'm actually for real, for real. It's a skill I really want to pick up. So, thanks for being so humble. I thank you so much. Thank you.
This is what I like about spaces, that you can meet. Like, I know Prey. I think I follow him for a long time. I follow Michael for a long time. And they didn't connected before, so they connect on the space, and it's amazing. It can happen in any space. Like, I've met so many people in spaces that then they are my team, or they are on Bearded Bodies right now, and it's crazy. That's Web3, and that's what I love, to be honest. But yeah, before finishing this space, I think we have Blaze here on the speaker mode. I think we haven't talked before. I haven't seen you here around. So if you want to say something, add something, ask something, or just share your story, like how did you start here, it would be awesome. If not, I'm going to close this space soon. So Blaze, are you there?
Yes, sir, I am. Thank you so much for the microphone and for the opportunity to share. I really appreciate you guys. Um, I love what you said, Pray. Good stuff, man. And that's inspiring. I hope that you continue to learn to code and just, trial by fire sometimes is the best way to do things. That's how I learned how to play the stock market. Um, and it's yeah, dude, I'm very excited for you. I'm excited. Anyway, but I heard you speaking about this space, about what an interesting and unique, and how they're building something great here. So I came in to listen, requested a mic, and gave you a follow, Bearded, and just wanted to thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Yo, Blaze is the homie. Shout out, Blaze.
Yeah, shout out to you, Blaze. Thank you for coming, and thank you, Pray, for shouting out actually the space, so he was able to find us. So Blaze, yeah, after the space, I'm going to give you a follow from my personal account, as this is the Bearded Bodies account. I'm just running this space right now. Yeah, so to be honest, this was a great space. I think we've been an hour
Yeah,
and a half.
actually,
Nacho, please go ahead.
yeah. I want to add something at the end, something that Prey was saying in the beginning. That Prey, you said something that you want like this space because we talk valuable things. And actually, when I started using Twitter was long before I was on like cryptocurrencies or NFT or wherever. And I started using Twitter because I love the people that I found. I love the quality of comments, the information that I can find, the things that I can learn. No, and actually, I'm gonna be totally honest. No, I don't like what I'm seeing right now in the NFT communities and everything because it's like, I know I love the idea of the communities, but for example, I remember when I opened my days and I go to Twitter and I see like really valuable things. Right now, I open my tweets. I only see GMs. I don't have nothing. I'm not attacking the GMs. I love it. I think that is a part of the culture. It's part of what we do. It's part of like the day, no. But I actually am willing to find more quality things, no, like less GMs and more quality things. That's something that I always say, no. And I think that we are doing these spaces in that way that we can actually share ideas, discuss ideas, go deeper in our personal growth, go deeper in our things, no. Because I think that that's really really important right now because I always say like we are building something really special here. No, what is happening right now with Web3 with NFTs have a tons of potential, a lot of future. No, and this is just starting. No, like I always say, like this is just starting because right now we are less than 1% of the population. Imagine when we get the mass adoption. Imagine when we have. Why are we gonna show to the world? How we expect to actually the people come to the space and learn things and be there? No, like I don't jump in a lot of spaces actually because, like you say, like it's more like just hype. and bullshit, and it's nice actually. It's fine. It's actually nice sometimes to find these spaces just to chill, hang out, and everything. But I think that right now is the most important thing is to educate ourselves, to grow ourselves, to share opinions, to like connect with other people. For me, like that's the main goal. And actually, with Bearded Bodies, like I think if we are gonna bring a space for the people, it have to come align with our values, no, align with what we are trying to do, align with we were actually trying to bring to the space, no. So yeah, I actually love what you say, no, and I think that it's that time, no, that we need to start giving more value, that we need to start really talking about things, no, like not just bullshit. Bullshit is important too, relax is important too, no, but I think that it's time to actually like discuss ideas, go deeper in our business and connect with people, no, like I don't know, I just want to say that yeah, I just like well follow everyone here in the room. Yeah, I just wanted to invite you. Like Gao was saying, we have spaces every day at 4:30 East, no, like the same time every day, no. Mondays with Lazy Mondays, then Tuesdays with Chatting with Builders, and Thursdays with Chatting with Builders. Like Gao was saying, it's not a shield space, it's to know who is behind the project, their values, their philosophies, no? Because I always talk about this, no? If we look with investors' eyes, of course, I invest in a project that have a good roadmap, a project that have like a good business plan, but I invest in the people that is behind the project. No, I invest in someone that I trust in him, that share my philosophy, that share my values, that share the things that make me me. No, so that's what we're trying to do in the Chatting with Builders. No, show the people who is behind the projects. No, and well, the halftime show that we always choose a topic more, you can say more philosophical in some ways, no, but it's important because like okay, we are businessmen, but we have to understand. I think that the mix between business and know yourself is really important, no, because it helps you to actually be more aware of your emotions, be aware of the things that trigger you, and help you to not take like fast decisions. I don't know, I think that it is a balance between both, no, like the both sides, no. So yeah, I just love to have you all you here, guys. Yeah, no, like bullish on all of you. Yeah, no, hope that see you on the next spaces, hope that we connect, hope that we can chat a little bit more. And yeah, Gabo, please go ahead. I'm gonna take you the whole space right now. Please go ahead. And like I was saying, pleasure to have you all here, bro.
Yeah, thank you, Nacho. I think you touched a hot topic there because I immediately saw the hands going up. So I'm going to go with Prey and then we can go with Lilo.
Yo, thanks, Gabo. Nacho, I just want to say one thing, and like you're absolutely right. I think the NFT community right now is in a, how to say it, like in a friendly way, like it's in a tough spot right now. I think the problem is that there's a toxic mentality that goes around in communities that they think they're buying financial products, and so like they're expecting some sort of yield to happen like immediately, right? Like they want to buy and they want to flip and they want to make money, and sure, like that's understandable. But you weren't here earlier, like there was an idiot in the space like 5 minutes into the 20 minutes into the space starting, some idiot in here was trying to give these bozo takes about like being an air quote like investor in NFTs. And really like that's what the problem is that the community is too focused on how do we make money right away and not really look at the underlying like thing that we're building. What we're doing is an exceptional, great experiment. We're validating this technology and how we're going to take it to apply to real world assets. That's when the real money is going to come in. It's not just the JPEGs and making NFTs and collectibles that are digital, but it's bridging the physical between the physical world and the digital world and bringing it on chain. And so like what we're doing right now, it's a great experiment and we're validating all the errors, all the things that work with this technology and how we can take it to new mediums and bring on billions of dollars worth of industries into like, you know, non-fungible tokens and ERC20 tokens and all of that good stuff. So you're absolutely right. I said this earlier, we need to have these tough conversations and really like that's what's going to push this space forward. Not the GMs, not the can you smoke weed and be successful or are you active right now? Like none of that nonsense, right? Like none of that. I'm not going to throw names, but obviously we all know who we're talking about. But yeah, like you have leaders in the space who are leading the masses towards like dumber and dumber and dumber ways every single day, and it has to stop, right? Like it's really up to us, people who want to see the change in our ecosystem. Like we have to speak up, we have to be the active change, and yeah, so I support you guys. I'm gonna be very active on checking my DMs, especially for you guys to get into the spaces every day. So that's all I want to say. I'm going to jump down to listener, finish cooking. Love you guys. Thank you for having me here.
No,
Thank you.
a pleasure, my bro. And yeah, like it's not that I'm trying to attack. I don't want it to hear that guy like, oh no, I'm just attacking this. But it's true. We need to. I think that the bull market come with a lot of people looking for fast opportunities. No, like people that actually want to will like make fast money, and the bull market work like that. But I think that, like you say, we're validating a technology here. We're validating something, and I think that we have to look actually to the biggest picture. No, what actually is building on the future NFT, what actually it means to have an NFT. Like, okay, it can be an investment sometimes, but sometimes it's just be part of the community, wherever. No, but I think that we need to start it, like that you say, talk about these topics and like look the big picture. Like what actually is gonna be this in 5 years, in 10 years. We're not gonna only be like PFPs. I think that all utilities that NFTs actually can have and the use cases. When we started, I always say, when we started bringing solutions to the world with NFTs, and when we started bringing use cases, in that moment the people are gonna understand it and like understand that NFTs are not a scam, NFTs are not just a PFP, NFTs are more. Like the technology of ownership, the technology of transparency. I don't know. I think that we have too much things to develop right now, and like it's on our hands, in the hands of the community, of the people that are here. It's in our hands to actually start talking about these things, And actually, I fight a lot with my old community manager, because I always say like this stuff, like he told me, oh, you have to do this every day. And I'm not gonna do it. I don't feel it. I don't like it. Like no, but you have to do it to grow. I'm gonna grow slowly, I don't care. Like, but I'm gonna do it on my way, Like, I think that we need more of that, Like, don't follow, start creating our own path, Because I don't know, it's my philosophy how we do things, and yeah, I don't know, like I don't see hands up, but Gabo, you can say it because it never showed me who's with the hands up. I don't know.
That's okay. Yeah, Lilo has his hands up, and Theon just jumped on the speaker mode, so welcome. But Lilo, go first, please.
Yeah, I'll make this quick to what you were saying a couple minutes ago, Nacho, about how I mean anyone could tweet out GM, and it's one of those things where to take the initiative to hop on a space and interact with people like this to build those really solid connections. Like, I mean, that's easily the best way to grow on Twitter as of right now. Oh, that rug. Okay, I don't know what happened to my phone, but yeah, that's literally the best way to. That's the best way to grow on Twitter, dude. Is from these spaces and building these connections with these like-minded people, bro. So I mean, dude, yeah, anyone in the space, even if you're a listener, bro, I'd love to have some of these people on the speaker and to listen to what they have to say. But with that being said, I'm gonna dip out of here. So it was awesome. It was awesome interacting with all of you.
Thank you, Lilo. Thank you, Lilo. I'm sorry. I think it was not your connection. It's actually my connection that was failing a little bit at the end. I'm sorry for that, but Theon, go ahead, please.
Yo, what's up, guys? I hope you guys can hear me. First of all, what's up, beard buddies? Nacho,
Hey,
everyone on the
perfectly.
speaker
Yeah, we can
panel.
hear you. We can hear you perfectly. And this
I
is
just want to say
Gabo
also,
speaking.
yeah, I just want to say, Alberto, congratulations, man. Which, Alberto's gonna be the metaverse for life now, you know?
Hey, how are you, my friends? Thank you for your support. Yeah, I really
I
appreciate
remember,
that. But
I remember,
yeah,
I remember, the first space that I came on Twitter space, it was Alberto's space. He was hosting it. But I wasn't another
well, so
account.
far
I wasn't an,
I have posted. Sorry, I have posted 800 pages so far until today. So it's not a surprise.
Yeah, I know. It's been so long time. I did use another account. This is a new account. So, in my first account, I remember I was talking to you, about charging stations connecting with NFT long time ago, and I asked you, is it possible? Is it possible? That was a long time, but I'm bullish about Web3
Oh
because
well. Oh my God, yeah. I mean, I have the memory, so yeah, I kind of recall things. I mean, Chasey was here early. I met him a year ago. Then Boston and Kay, I shout out for them. Thank you for your support, Daniel, as well. And what was your, well, if you don't have to tell me for some reason you changed your profile picture and your username, but yeah,
No,
I have the memory.
I was using my company Twitter account, you know, from my
Okay,
URL
okay,
business. But
okay,
I'm
okay.
bullish. I'm so bullish what you guys are doing, connecting builders together. Because man, technology never stops, man. Technology never stops. Technology it changes a lot, especially on
Wow,
Web3. It's
man.
going so
Ye-
fast, going so fast. I mean,
Yeah,
we are building on Ethereum right now, Solana, all these blockchains that we're building. I mean, my opinion, I know everybody has his own opinion, but my opinion is Bitcoin is gonna be always gonna be gold, and Ethereum is always gonna be silver. And right now, I don't know if you guys are bullish on Ordinals, Ordinals NFT, ascribing NFT on Bitcoin chain, but I'm bullish of in hell like that. I'm bullish, you know.
well, no
I don't
financial advice. No financial
know.
advice, but I very positive regarding this technology. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. When I came here, it was to help people that I was realizing so many of them being victim of hacking, scams, and all that. Then, when I understood what NFTs were all about, I said, "Oh, don't ever leave this place, man. This is like, this is the present, the future. So this is where I want to be." Yeah, it was like the one of the best things in my life getting into NFTs. It wasn't because actually I felt like even though I started using bitcoins and cryptos back in 2014, I don't know if it was Nacho or if it was you, Barba, who asked about, who said that only certain people were using cryptos back in, I don't know, 2000. Well, I started using cryptos because I entered into a forum of hacking that had certain things, and in order to access, you had to pay a membership. But of course, who would put their credit card into a hacker's forum? That is not very smart. So you had to pay for with bitcoins for entering into for gaining access to that. The thing is that liquidity in Uruguay in bitcoins in 2014 was like zero. I went to localbitcoins.com in order to get a bitcoin. I think I spent like 2 weeks in order to get, I don't know, maybe $30 in bitcoin. Okay, that was the first time I got Bitcoin. Then my curiosity was stronger than me. I started researching, and I never left. Then I understood that actually the thing was the blockchain of the Bitcoin. Uh, well, then I went to prison. I had a lot of time to think about all my life. Now I'm back, and I realized that NFTs are here to stay. And yeah, and it's something where I want to be. I feel comfortable. I love it. And okay, the market. Um, okay, security is something that doesn't make me proud the way it's behaving right now, but it's a very early stage. So let's work all together to improve that.
Bro, I remember, I bought Bitcoin when it was $100. I sold it when it was $150. Now I made $50. I had like 20 Bitcoins. I tell my kids today, Daddy had 20 Bitcoin. You know, I used to
Well,
have 20
imagine
Bitcoin. Oh my
I bought my
God.
vehicles in 2015, 2016. I never sold them. The thing is that I don't have it either. The Interpol has them. But okay, I think that is called theft or something like that of the Interpol officers. Yeah, when I bought them at a very good price and not in you in Argentina. But it still hurts when I remember that. So it's okay. Yeah, I mean, after the trading in late 90s with the dot-coms and all that, I learned that money comes easy, goes easy. It's not a big deal. You can always recover. Just never invest more than you are able to lose. That's the rule number one. Don't invest money that is supposed to pay for your food, for your education of your kids, blah, blah, blah. This is not financial advice.
One question for the audience and everybody on the speaker panel. Do you guys know what's happening right now with the Ordinals?
Yeah, like We've got like a pretty good idea about it. What exactly do you want to know about it?
Did you know they're creating another second layer for Bitcoin layers that called stakes that you can in the near future, maybe in a month now, I don't know when, but they're getting it ready. You can stake your ordinal DeFi also. That is insane, man.
Yeah, like I just feel like they're gonna have to face a little bit of some regulations, with the whole clamping down of staking, especially with no exact utility, because the ordinals thing just it just actually started with like this new Bitcoin blocks, where you can actually imprint your NFTs into this certain blocks that are created as in this now said word ordinals, and I think if people are actually imprinting, because just like Nacho was saying earlier concerning like the real use cases of what NFTs are supposed to be doing in terms of imprinting the exact original documentation of a particular asset. So with this particular perspective, I think this is what the blocks they are creating on the Bitcoin layer is supposed to do, and not for the entire PFP use case that we have seen on the Ethereum, because it's not going to make sense where people are just going to stake NFTs and they're making some capital without any real business or a business model backing it. So yeah, that's basically what I just wanted to add. But regulations are really going to be make it a tough time for that staking with the ordinals in real sense. So yeah.
Well, my friend. I mean, if you really know, the stacks. There's a Bitcoin layer they're using right now, what's called STX tokens, and STX tokens are regulated, so there are going to be no problem for staking and using as DeFi. You know,
Yeah, I know, but that's basically what I'm still saying, because like most of these assets that are being used for staking at the moment is basically what we are going to see like clampdowns on, because like I was stating, maybe I actually really need to do like a little bit of more research on this, but most of this DeFi protocols are also gonna be in some form of check. I don't know if you have heard about like the ISO 222, where they are actually going to be checking, every tokens that would be used for staking and all of these things. I just feel like the entire regulatory bodies are gonna come after if come after projects that are just doing like you know PFP staking without like a real business model, because the entire sense of the ordinals that was created on the Bitcoin layer is so that Bitcoin can also be used to document NFTs in terms of like the perspective of what we're already seeing with Ethereum, and in this sense with Bitcoin it's just going to be imprinted for ever. That's the entire sense of it. Like you're just going to imprint that particular image there or document or whatever, and then you can see who it transfers to on the chain. So yeah, that's just like my little. I don't really know so much, but I'll do some more research on this.
yeah, that's crazy, man. I love that because they've been inscribing stuff a long time, on the Bitcoin, on the Satoshis. I mean, if you look at Stack, Stack is Stack approved, So I'm bullish on that, You guys just look at stacks.co or something, and check it out. Check a little bit, read, do your homework a little bit. That's kind of cool, to know stuff like
Yeah, yeah.
But one thing is fucked up because if you want to inscribe ordinals, you have to install a Bitcoin core, and it's like 4 or 5 gigabytes on storage, and you have to be careful for what you're opening and looking at. It's a lot of crazy stuff they inscribe. So
All right, bro. Thanks for that.
Yeah, no, fam. Well, like Gao was saying a few minutes ago, like we were just like closing the space. I actually enjoy and love to hear all these discussions, and but well, we have some things to do in real life because work don't stop here, and yeah. So like I just wanted to say that I really enjoyed this conversation. I really enjoyed to be here. I know that I was a little bit late today. Well, what Gabo was hosting, I love to have here us and like actually build this community. Like we are trying to be the most organic as possible. No, stay slow but steady and keep working every day. And I love how people are starting to connect here. I love like the conversations that we're having. But from today is all that we have to say. So we are gonna close the space right now. Actually, but first of all, of course, I wanted to invite you for the next one. Every day at 4:30, we have like I was planning a long ago, different spaces with different topics, and yeah, the idea is to connect. And if you want, if you feel it, you can follow Bearded Bodies, check what we are doing. Actually, like I always say, I never shield my project. I think that the best way to sell a product is have a good product. No, so I just wanted to invite you, the ones that I know a lot about what we are doing and our plans to the future, to read our light paper that is pinned on the top of Bearded Bodies. No, that light paper is a 10 pages explanation of everything of what we're doing, our plans, how we're doing things. No, because like we always say, we are not just another NFT. We are a brand. We are creating a brand to support entrepreneurs. That's our goal. Support, give network, give connections. Yeah, I just wanted to invite you all to read the light paper if you want it, read about what we're doing, and hope to see you on the next one, fam. And like always say, let's fucking build, fam. Let's do it, and see you on the next one.
Thank you, everybody, and see you tomorrow. The light paper is pinned, and yeah, have a great day. See you tomorrow.